What's up, y'all? It's your boy DJ94.
And I'm Kiki Karew, and we have Word on the Streets ATL live at LeVar Ramsey Camp's birthday celebration.
Yes.
And we have some guest co-hosts right here.
Yes.
Can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey there, I'm Coach Jonna Johnson.
I'm Thomas Johnson.
All right. And we got questions prepared for y'all. We looked y'all up. We had to know what we're getting into.
So basically, just to let y'all know, I know they're not one the brand, but I'm gonna do it for them. So Thomas Johnson was an NFL superstar back in the day. He was out here, knocking people down, whatever he had to do to protect his quarterback, whatever the case may be. And we have Jonna, is that correct, Jonna?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a big circle on names. I hate when people incorrectly say my name, but she's an actress coach.
Yes,
that's
right.
Any guy who's an actor, Shakespeare, all that other stuff, she's your coach. So, the first one's towards you, Thomas. I just want to ask you. Okay. So, talk about your time in the NFL and, how it was to manage your money. Because a lot of these athletes, they get in the NFL, they've never seen that type of money before, and they just throw it. They buy all these fancy cars.
And I'm upset.
And then I'm thinking about, life after football, life after basketball. So, how was that experience for you? And just, what was your thought process so that you were making money?
Well, no one really knows when it's going to end. And unfortunately, in football, it mostly ends with injury.
Right.
So your mind is telling you, I'm going to retire when I'm 40, I've played 17 years, so I can mess off a little money. But when in reality, the lifespan of an NFL player is about 3 years.
Okay.
So, yes.
So people like Tom Brady, they're like the exception, the rarity. Like they're playing until 41, 42.
Exactly.
Okay.
Guys like him, Ray Lewis, Peyton Manning, who go out on top 17 years Super Bowl. That's what you dream. That's what the dream is, but it usually don't happen.
Okay.
So with us, when I retired, it was due to injury.
Okay. And
when I did retire, I was only 31.
Okay.
But I've been playing football since I was 10. So that's 21 years of my life. But, I put some money aside for my children, make sure their college was paid for. And after that, it was time to get back to work. So that's when I started Unite Us Logistics.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we started our company back in 2016.
Okay.
So it's a fairly new company.
Okay.
But we've been on a 70% increase ever since we've been in business.
Okay.
Are you guys hiring? Are you hiring?
We're hiring owner-operators, drivers, dispatchers.
So if you're looking for a job out there in this tough economy, definitely hit my man Thomas up. He got the job for you if you're qualified. If you're qualified, don't be coming in
off the street.
Yeah, I want a job. You got to have some type of qualifications. You know what I mean? But that's awesome, man.
And we're super excited. Our owner-operators, guys who own their own truck, their truck doing about $290,000 a year.
Okay.
And they're doing really well. 6th grade.
This is truck driving?
This is truck driving.
Okay, I'm going to have to tap into that.
Hey, I heard truck drivers make that good money, man.
They do. They do really well.
Career choice.
After fuel and expenses, them guys doing anywhere from $180,000 to $150,000 in a year.
Okay.
Take home. So
but how long are they home? Is this a traveling job?
Yeah,
they're not home much, or
no? All of my drivers get home every weekend, so they can have their home life. But we ask for them Monday through Friday, and at the same time, most of my guys live in Memphis or Atlanta, and we come through those cities 2 or 3 times a week, so they always coming home. If they leave on a Monday, they usually touch home again by Wednesday, and they off on the weekend.
So are you mostly doing business right now in the Southeast part? Or
no, we got business in California, Texas, Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're still growing, and that's really good, being a really new business.
Yes.
Okay, all right, well, we're going to get it over to Jonathan. Jonathan's been sitting here. It's her moment to shine.
And this is good stuff.
Talk about, for me, obviously, your husband played in the NFL. Talk about just the at-home life, the culture that you created while your husband was out, obviously, at practice, on the road, traveling city to city.
Right, well, I have to say that it's never an at-home life. I mean, our family, the Johnson unit, and, everybody that's every year for the Ramsey squad knows that we're a hustling family. So there ain't never been an at-home. And when I'm working, my kids are with me. Or if they can't be with me, my kids are with my husband, even at practice.
You're her. You coming together. I got that.
That's right. So it's always been a hustle. There ain't never been a sit down at home.
Okay, and what made you get into the acting coaching? So what's the story behind it?
Yeah, so I've always had this interest, but where I came from in a small town of Lebanon, Tennessee, it wasn't never something that was a possibility. So that kind of just fueled even more of my passion. When I went to college and met Thomas in college, he inspired me to hey, make some choices of your own. You don't have to stick by the rule of this is what you got to do to work and put bread on the table. Do something that's creative and something that you're interested in doing. And so I took a couple of theater classes and fell in love with the act. So about 2007, I tried out for it was like kind of a synchronicity thing that lined up, and the stars aligned, and the universe was on my side. And I tried out for Tennessee's Top Model, and I actually, with no experience, no professional training, I actually came out and won. And so I'm titled Tennessee Top Model in 2008, and I won some free acting classes, and from there, the rest is history.
Okay, so are you more into the musicals, or you're a more serious TV drama?
I actually do teach film and television. And so I teach a very rare technique that's taught over here on the east side of America. I'm actually the only one that can teach the Chubbuck technique to kid actors over here on the east side. But also,
say that technique again. I'm sorry.
The Chubbuck technique. It's the acting coach of Halle Berry, Charlize Theron, Brad Pitt. She's my good friend, Ivana Chubbuck. And so I go every summer to California to retrain with her to get sharper. But I'm her premier acting coach for the east side of America. She lives in LA.
Okay.
So
I need to get your card.
Yes, ma'am.
All that.
Look, are you an agent too? Because look,
I'm not an agent, but I'm great friends with a lot of different agents. So a lot of agents have me as the top of their list of this is the go-to coach. So I'm friends with all of the top prime agents here in Georgia and the Southeast as a whole.
So what show are you interested in right now? What are you going based on acting, how it's written? What show are you into right now?
I have to say American Horror Story. American Horror Story's got some great acting going on.
They do. And it's scary. I can't watch it myself. I have to have all the lights on in the house.
Yeah.
I get creeped out very easily.
But they do such a good job with it.
She's at home watching it at 3 in the morning.
3 in the morning. I can't.
You're hardcore. Okay.
All right, so our last segment of the show, we have the out of the box or the out of the bowl right now. So there's going to be random questions, so you guys can pick it out and answer it individually or collectively.
Sure.
So I'm going to shake it up.
Okay.
Shake it up.
Yeah, shake it. And if you can, read the question for me. It can be anything, so you're prepared.
Okay.
We're not sure what it could be.
Let's see here.
Hopefully it's not a repeater.
Did we read it?
Yes, read it out loud.
Okay. So would you rather die young, but you fulfilled your godly purpose, or die old and impacted every single person in the world?
That's hard. That's hard right there.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a no-brainer. I had to reread it, but no, I
never sure where you're going.
No. I want to impact every single person that I can. Absolutely. I feel like when you have a gift, why go to the grave with that gift?
Right.
The cemetery is probably the wealthiest place on the planet because a lot of people die with their gifts going to the grave with them, and a lot of people don't know what their gift is.
I never thought of that.
So you got to be able to, and Les Brown said it best. He says you have your date of birth when you're born, and then you have the day that you go to the grave, which is the date of death. It's that dash in between that matters the most.
I've heard that.
It's that dash between. Les Brown is my favorite.
I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely the second part of that. I think we're collectively.
And one more question for both of you guys before you guys go. So can you guys give any advice to any young people out there, whether it be people in sports, like they're currently in high school, middle school, and the people that are trying to break into the acting world and get their portfolio out there? Can you guys both answer that for me?
Yeah.
Well, I'll start with the young athlete / young entrepreneur. Listen to that voice that's telling you to get up and go. It's for real. If you get up and just continue to go, every time you hear that voice tell you to go, it will lead you somewhere great. It's a lot of times we hear that voice and we lay back down. We hear that voice and we're like, nah, not today.
Yes, sir.
No, listen to that voice and go. It's the reason why it's telling you. That gut feeling you have, that's a real feeling.
Okay.
So go with that gut feeling and run with it.
All right. Like that.
And I had to kind of piggyback off of that. Yes, you have to make sure that you listen to that subconscious and that inner you because it's not lying.
Okay.
And so just kind of really finalize that, you got to commit to your commitments. If you're going to commit to something, you got to follow through. It's one thing to set goals, it's another thing to achieve them.
Okay.
So commit to your commitments, and you'll take one step in front of the other. One step in front of the other, and you'll get there.
Okay.
You'll get there.
The last thing before we leave y'all, we love to let our guests plug their Instagram social. Where can we find and keep up with you guys?
Hey, before we go to that, I want to finish up what she just said.
Sure. Go ahead.
You're going to fail.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Keep failing.
Yep.
That means you keep trying.
Yep.
And one day something's going to go for you.
Yes, sir.
Don't be afraid of failure, man. Failure is the best teacher in this life.
I like that.
Your mama can't teach you, your granny can't teach you, your teachers can't teach you. But failure, if you learn from those failures, you'll be successful. Just keep plugging away. But on my social media, you can find me at Tank4President.
Okay.
The number 4, I think about running in 2020.
All right. Anything's possible, man.
No, I'm just kidding. But definitely you can find me on Instagram at Tank4President.
Okay.
And for me, you can find me at Jonna Johnson1 on Twitter and Instagram. For my Facebook, it's Jonna Johnson. And then I also have a website, coachedbyjonnajohnson.com.
All right. Well, Jonna and Thomas, thank you so much for coming on our show. Word on the Streets ATL. We appreciate you guys. We'll have some more guests coming after this. Word on the Streets ATL.